Right then folks, welcome back to the bench for round 2. First thing we're going to do is clean up the bench from the previous job. From experience, there's absolutely nothing worse than starting the next job. You can't remember where the files are, the gauges are, where you've put your screwdriver, and you spend 3 hours looking for things that ordinarily you would know where they are. We're now going to move on to a lovely little Ibanez guitar. This is from Chloe, a very multi-talented instrumentalist, and this is the AEG 10-2. We're just checking the spec sheet to see what she's having, and from memory we're going to be lowering the playing action as it did measure a little bit high. We will be doing the full restring as you've saw on our previous video and previous videos we've put on the channel. And as always on these videos, I will make a continual idiot of myself, dancing, singing, air drumming, and I think even the saxophone appears at some point on this video. One of my top tech tips for getting in all the nooks and crannies, you can't go wrong with a paintbrush. That and a toothbrush for cleaning some of the frets have been an absolute lifesaver over the years, so there's one for your toolbox. We'll now clean and condition the board, just prepping it before we do our fret assessment and analysis. There does look a little bit of wear to the frets and they are slightly raised. You'll see me address that very shortly, but first, another cup of tea. Okay then, probably about the 20th cup of tea already, but back to it. Fret polishing and analysis is such an important part of our job as it determines the current state of the frets. Do they need levelling? Do they need a full replacement? Thankfully these have been well looked after and we're just maintaining them as best as we can to prolong the life. We will just do a little lemon oil of the neck, and then next we can start to prep for reducing the height of the saddle down. This will be covered in just a few moments time. But we'll just now go over the guitar one final time, checking the level of the truss rod, making sure we're happy with the angle. And it looks like we're okay there. We will do a final check of our frets before we go. It's important to ensure that we've got them as flat and as level as possible. And here you'll see me just tap down with a rubberised hammer, very, very slightly, just to get them flat. It's not uncommon to have the odd raised fret here or there. In some cases we will have to look at reseating them and gluing them. On this occasion, once we'd done this once or twice, they did sit back in the seated position, which is fantastic. Cue the air saxophone. I have absolutely no idea what I was listening to, but I was certainly enjoying it. It also looks like we have a world-class drum fill that's about now. Just look at me go. With that done, we can now get the strings in position, and this will help us when we're taking the saddle on and off the guitar. It's important to do this in sections rather than one go. You can see me here just looking at what material to remove. We'll do a little portion and then swapping it round every few passes. And this will just ensure we get a nice even distribution when filing down and reducing the height. The consequences of not having a flat saddle can impede our sound distribution across the board. We could have more bass or less treble, so it's important to have this as flat as possible. And by the looks of it now, it looks like I'm flat and need another cup of tea. We are now refreshed and ready for the final section, which will be just getting the strings on, as you can see, and then we can balance across the board, just ensuring that we've had no movement from the truss rod. It's not uncommon with the strings being off that we may need to tweak it again. You'll just see me here having a little bit of an assessment. The height we're happy with, and just at a glance it looks like we've had a slight bit of movement, which we can now get addressed. And again, small tweaks, little and often, rechecking. It's not uncommon to have to do this a few times. And it looks like we are good to go. So with the truss rod readjusted and we're happy with the height at the nut, we can now conclude this part of the setup. And just as a final bonus, I thought I'd let you watch me filming me. We do often do little shorts as well as long form content for YouTube and TikTok and other platforms. So here's me in action, just doing a quick demonstration of how to check your truss rod assessment. Wasn't that lovely and professional? We can now get tuned up finally, and with that being done, as always, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for the support. If there is something you'd like to see us cover on the channel, do drop us a line below in the comments section. I'm Jamie, your local tech. Guitar 2. And as I always say, another day, another guitar. See you soon. I'm off for another cup of tea.